Most people do this mistake when they create Copilot agents, is that they use the built-in agent builder from Microsoft themselves. And in this video, I won't show you step-by-step how to create an agent, but I will show you the best practices so your agent actually gives you the best responses possible. I'm David Fortin, a Microsoft MVP and a CPA, and I trained more than 100,000 people on the Copilot topics, and I created more than 100 agents. Okay, so let's get started right here. So what people do is that they use the agent builder, and what I will suggest you to do is that you skip to configure. But just before that, we are going to use the agent builder, and I will prove my point right here. Okay, so I prepared a prompt for you. We're going to build an expense and travel policy agent. I think I need to slow down. I'm too excited. Okay, rephrase. I'm going to build a travel and policy agent. Okay, so I pasted a long prompt. The first mistake people do is that their prompt isn't even detailed. They go with the agent builder and the prompt is not detailed. Look at that, how detailed this prompt is. And I'm going to put in some files. Okay, all right, so all I did is, remember, I'm creating an agent that every time we have a question internally about a policy, I want to go to this agent, I want to share it to my team. And what I did is I attached the documents right here, okay? And again, the agent builder is not the best way, but if you're just starting, it's good, okay? It's just not the best practices. And I will hit send, and you will see I attached all of my documents, okay, all of my documents, my expense policy, my expense FAQ, etc. And the agent builder, it's probably going to ask me some more questions, or it will build the agent straight up. But you will see it will be a V1 of the agent, and I want to show you the best practices to build the agents, okay? I'll get back to you in just a few seconds. Let this load a little bit. All right, so my agent is created, super cool. We could go there, hit create, and that will be done. But that's not the case, my friend. The first mistake that a lot of people do is that right here, your agent will use the auto model. Okay, so you can pick the LLM, the large language model. And if you just pick think deeper right here, your agent will give you much better results. Trust me about that, okay? And the second mistake, look at this. This is the most important part. We have some instructions right here, and you can see the agent, it bolded some instructions, and when I click into them, it put the mark down, which is amazing. That's one of the best practices that I want to introduce, okay? But the instructions is the most important part, okay? You should not sleep on that, and I tell you, you will refine your instructions, okay? That's what I teach to thousands of people that took my online course, Copilot Essentials. And in this course, I go step by step, like all the best practices on how to write instructions. And this is the difference between an agent that fails and an agent that succeeds, okay? So if you leave it as is using the agent builder, you will fail, okay? So that's super cool. We have the markdown, but one thing we don't have, okay? And let me switch to my best practices instructions right here. I prepared a PowerPoint for you, okay? And if you want, you can download the PowerPoint for free. It's extracted from my paid course, Copilot Essentials from AI Beginner to Proficient, but I want to give you for free, okay? So one thing that I want to actually show you, okay? It's on the second page of this PowerPoint. It's right here, okay? You need to refer the file to their exact names, okay? And that's very, very important. And if you use the agent builder, it won't work, okay? So by instance, let me go back here. Let's say we want our expense agents to always have a look at the expense policy. We need to strictly refer, hey, you will find this in the section 3 of the expense policy point PDF, right? There is nothing in this, and the instructions are pretty generic, nothing in this that will do that. Okay, so what you will need to do is something like, when you need an expense policy, have a look at the document expense policy, whatever it's written, .pdf, okay? That's exactly what you need to do, else you will lack some clarity, some specificity in your instructions, okay? So I know it's a bit broad, but I have tons of more specific best practices for the instructions in the PowerPoint, okay? And you can see the markdown are very, very important. If I do a little bit of teaching here, make sure you use the markdown. So basically, 2 hashtag is headings 2, 3 hashtag is headings 3, and 1 hashtag is headings 1. Okay, so anything below that, it should be like a structure. Okay, and trust me, you need to have this nail down, else your instructions, they won't be as great, okay? This is probably the most important part as well. With the instructions super, super important, but the knowledge, okay? So in this case, you can see I've attached my documents directly. That's one mistake people do. What you can do exactly is that you can link a SharePoint folder, okay? You can click here, you click on sites, and then you can link a direct site. So let's say my documents will be attached in the communication site. You can reference the SharePoint. That way, if the policies changes, they keep getting updated all the time, okay? And the agent will feed itself on the live documents in the SharePoint. So every year when we renew our policies, the agents will be updated, okay? One other thing, I see a big mistake, and let me show you. Lots of people will check this, okay? Only use specified source. And when you click on the little eye, it says, hey, restrict your agent's overall scope when accuracy is critical, okay? But when you click on learn more, we'll click on learn more and it will bring us to the Microsoft website. Look at that. It says, hey, Agent Builder in Microsoft 365 Copilot doesn't support blocking general AI knowledge from your agent responses. Okay, so you need to be in Copilot Studio, which is a completely different tool for this to work. So I'm not sure why this is actually here, but you can work around. You can do in your instructions, like only use the information from the expense policy, nothing else. Don't come up with some policies, but try to stay positive, okay? In your instructions, don't be negative, lead with positivity, and it will work even better, okay? And everything I'm telling you about the best practices are from the OpenAI documentations, the company behind ChatGPT, okay? So that's super useful, okay? The capabilities, that's all good. One thing I see people not doing as well is use a suggested prompt. That's super useful. Use a suggested prompt, make them kind of thorough, so people, when they get into the agent, I'll show you in just a few seconds, they can click on the pre-built prompts at the bottom, okay? One last thing I want to show you, this video will be a pretty quick one, is when you click on the three dots right here, okay? Actually, it doesn't work. Let me just click create right here. Okay, you can share your agent. That's something, okay, pretty basic. Let's go to the agent. The pre-built prompts are right here at the bottom, okay? Pre-built prompts are right here at the bottom. Some people can click here, make them thorough, okay? The more thorough, the more precise your prompts will be, the better the results. And you'll see at the top, it didn't put my Think Deeper model. I think it's a bug currently, but if I go back into my agent, it will always pick the Think Deeper. I always advise that you pick that. Trust me, I've done tons of tests, and when I was leaving it on auto, I didn't have the great results, okay? So one thing I want to show you, let me try to edit another agent, okay? Another agent. One last thing I wanted to show you was right here. Okay, when you click on the three dots, okay, I made the PowerPoint guru right here. I love this agent. It's an agent that helps me prepare for my presentation. You can submit your agents to your organization catalog, okay? It's a brand new feature, and I know lots of people into different organizations, they struggle with like how many agents there are built, etc., etc. So you can do that, okay? That was a pretty quick video, but very quick takeaways. First, you can use the agent builder, but that won't be the best practices. Second, make sure your instructions are very good, very detailed, very specific. Reference the name of the files, exact name of the files, and you can also use SharePoint folders so your agent is live. It's always updated with the latest documents, okay? Then we saw that you don't need to check the box that says only use specified source. It doesn't work, okay? And then you can also submit to your org catalog, your agent, before creating it, okay? So that was a super quick video. And if you want to know step-by-step how to create an agent, I just released a new module in my course, Copilot Essentials from AI Beginner to Proficient. More than 3,000 people follow this course. You can download the PowerPoint down below with the best practices for the instructions. And if you want to know more agents ideas, I built a video with my favorite agents right here. Catch you in another video, my friends. Cheers.